Welcome to the Disruptor Network podcast.
Welcome back to the Disruptors Network podcast. We have two great guests for you today, Anthony Lolli and Tereza Hakobyan. They have created a fitness nation movement across the country with radical body transformations. I know Anthony from a previous life in real estate where he was super successful. He owned a huge franchise that he sold a best-selling book that was on New York Times, Amazon's bestsellers list. His wife, Tereza, was accomplished in her own right. She's an actress. She's a great mom. He brought her along on his fitness journey. He lost over 100 pounds. Now they're competing in all these body competitions across the world, and they're going to tell you their story. So without further ado, Anthony Lolli and Tereza Hakobyan.
Ignition. Liftoff.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you, everybody, for coming in and tuning in. Today, we have our guest once again. We have Anthony Lolli coming to bless us today. He joining us again. We had him on the TV show, and today him and his wife are going to tell us a little bit about everything that they've been doing, because they've been working on a lot of stuff, and they've been competing all around the country, doing everything that they can right now. So we have a lot of questions for you, and we really appreciate you guys for coming by.
Yeah,
thank you for having us. And I love what you guys did with the show. It was amazing. We got some incredible feedback. You guys are amazing, putting it all together, telling the story. It was magical. I loved it.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for doing it. And Tereza, thank you for being on. I know that I have some questions for you too, because I know you have a lot to do. I watched, just to the record, I watched your whole entire food prep episode, and I got some things from it. So I got some things to ask you.
She's a super mom. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But you guys, I mean, so a couple of things. I mean, Anthony, just from the time you've been on the show and the time your series came out, both of your social medias have exploded. I mean, you guys, it's become such a, and it's not like you haven't been famous before. You've been famous for a little while, but I feel like people are connecting more with the message you guys are putting out together now. Can you just give a little background on that?
I mean, first of all, the documentary From Fat Lolli to Six Pack Lolli was released July 2020. So this month is a full year, and over 95 million people have watched it. It's been streamed 95 million times. It's broken records.
Wow.
So that's number one. It's been nominated 8 times, and it won 2 Best Documentary Film Awards. So that really blew things up. Then we had it translated into 52 languages, which opened up the international audience, people on social media. And when you watch the documentary, I was very thinking ahead, and I was showing about how I talked to my fan base, and I was taking pictures on Instagram and stuff like that. So people saw that I was welcoming, because I was basically indirectly telling the people, hey, look me up on Instagram. You can be my friend. So people took me up on that. And then we launched a YouTube channel that now has like 23,000 subscribers. And we started putting content on there, which was more related to us as a family and doing things as a family, as a couple, as a fit couple. So we started putting content there. And then, of course, we started competing. And then Tereza did her first competition in April in Orlando, Florida. And only from 1 year of training, she won her pro card, which is unprecedented. It's very difficult, to win your pro card. You have people that have trained 5, 6, 7 years to try to win a pro card. She did it her first year, which was pretty amazing. And then, of course, I competed in one. And then I did my first crossover competition where I went from transformation to male fitness model. So I was competing against 2 guys that have been in the fitness industry people call me. I was competing with 2 guys that have been in the fitness industry 10, 15 years, and I took second place as a male fitness model.
It all happened by chance too.
Yeah.
We were just sitting, waiting, and it was registration night. Well, we registered for transformation bikini. And then I was like, look, you could just do fitness model too. We're here. And, you look the part, because I saw the other fitness models registering. I sized them up, and I'm like, you can beat them too. So that started a whole trend where last weekend he's already classic physique. So it was amazing to start off our competition season with a little bit of transformation, but really putting in this focus to transition to a real bodybuilding category.
Then we launched our business officially in February, Radical Body Transformations, and then we started launching these 90-day challenges where we were offering up to $100,000 in prizes. And that blew us up. People started, submitting videos and getting coaching and winning prizes and doing before and afters and losing weight or putting on muscle. So
also changing their lives.
Yeah.
We have contestants who were like, one of the guys was like, I was ready to commit suicide.
Yeah.
And completely by chance, I see your documentary. I'm like, let me just reach out to her. This is the kind of outreach we've had. People who've had, who were cancer survivors having weight issues. Moms are going wild, seeing that it could be done and managed with 2 kids who are under 5.
I didn't know that my fan base was going to be mainly women. It's like 80% women and moms, like they took a liking to the whole, family dynamic and component. There was one scene in the documentary where Tereza was wiping my ass because I couldn't wipe my own ass. We almost didn't put it in there. I was
the
like,
most famous scene in the documentary.
And then, but that's really what, they really blew her up too. People are like, wow, I can't believe this kind of dedication. And so it's pretty
because
cool.
Honestly, transformation and staying fit is a lifestyle. And when your lifestyle is revolved around a family, that family has to be in that lifestyle. So you went together. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wanted to give you guys both a compliment real quick because I thought about it. And Tereza, first of all, you getting your pro card in this short period of time. And I've been around fitness my whole life. That's amazing. That's an amazing accomplishment. And for people who don't know what that is, people train for years and years and years for this and never get it. So like, it's an unbelievable that you've done that, especially having 2 kids and filming a show and all this stuff. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Anthony, I really thought about this the other day with you when I was, doing some research to ask you guys questions. And you've been successful at so many things since I've known you at this point now, right? That I don't even talk about you as a real estate guy anymore, which is the biggest compliment I can give you. Like you've transformed into other industries. Like the biggest compliment I can give you is that we don't ever have to talk about real estate again, and you're still succeeding. So like some people hold on to the one success they have for their whole entire lives and never do anything else. So like, I think it's great that you guys are accountability partners, but can you guys just both talk about that? Like, you transitioned from a completely different lifestyle into this lifestyle. What mentality did you guys use for that? Like that you took from what your life, and Tereza, in your own right, you're an actress. If people go look you up, you've been in a bunch of things. Like you guys were doing totally different things than you're doing now. Like, how did you use that mentality to be successful where you are now?
I think, you can't be a one-trick pony. If you look at the sharks on Shark Tank, if you look at Elon Musk, he made a big fortune owning PayPal. He didn't just stop there. Look at all the sharks on Shark Tank and all the businesses, so I think you're either a businessman or you're a businessman. Like, that's the truth. So, we had to completely change our circle. I think that's key. If you keep talking to the same people, you're going to get the same ideas. So you have to really surround yourself and humble yourself and really immerse yourself and be a student of the trade. So I went into the fitness industry with my thinking cap and my glasses and pen and paper, just learning everything I needed to do, absorbing, but also taking all of my knowledge and wisdom and my skill sets in business and applying them when necessary. I think it's no different than a boxer crossing over into mixed martial arts. It's still fighting, but there's more moving parts, there's more dynamics, and then you have to kind of humble yourself and really train from the ground up, grappling and everything. So I think for us, I think we were ready for the change. I think, real estate is kind of set it and forget it. We took advantage of all the opportunities that real estate could bring us. And then, when you sell your company, you want to sell it for a good exit. And you want to have an exit strategy, And so for me, I knew that selling the company would allow me to have more time and freedom to go into the next phase of my life, which was having a family and spending more time with my wife and my children. But I'm a business person and entrepreneur by heart. So, I had to combine the two, I think.
I think our mindset, I still remember when we met and we started dating, he was like, you remind me so much of myself. And I was like, oh, really? How? So, and then now moving, moving past all the obstacles and everything, I understand that this drive for life, this passion for accomplishing some groundbreaking missions. We both are very deep and spiritual people, even though we're very like, charging like horses, but we do have this spirituality in us that we believe we're put on earth for a reason. And if we are blessed with some opportunities, we must, bless with our knowledge and experience. So we also come from the mentality of taking charge of our lives rather than life taking charge of us. And it all started with him losing weight to be healthy for the children. That's all it started. But when he was documenting his journey and posting it on social media, and he saw people were crying and craving this content, that's where he was like, maybe I can put it on Amazon as a documentary to inspire people, because I look at all these people, they don't have the drive, maybe they don't have the supportive, partner, maybe they don't have their why. They don't have the daughter that says, Daddy, please don't die, or whatever that transformed his mindset. They don't have it. Maybe I could be that person to help them. Then the documentary goes up, and now it's even more outreach, more people. And I feel like the universe has brought on this business, has brought on everything. And we've just been lucky enough, also wise enough to take on the ship and start steering in our own way. And we're very passionate about benefiting and spreading, what we've learned. So the docuseries is going to be a wealth of information that we've learned about the fitness industry. And we just cannot wait to share, educate, because we want a lot of people in this industry. Why not inspire people to be fit? Why would overweight, models be such mainstream? Why are all these shows about dating and dumping and like the crazy stuff that's so mainstream, and people do get influenced by this stuff? Why can't we influence people about the fitness world? Have portion control, have good relationship with food, raise your children from the ground up with good relationship with food, because that's like basic, it comes from childhood and then it carries over. That's why many people suffer. Many people have all these issues with their weight, with their image. It's all related to relationships with food. So we just want to transform that, relationship with food and fitness, and bring the fitness industry to the mainstream. Especially there's like federations like the WBFF and, of course, the NPC, which is more hardcore, but there's other federations like OCB, and we dove deep and we understood everything around it. It's fashionable, it's glamorous. Weightlifting is sexy. It's not manly, So we just want to convey that message, and we just want to influence. And as Anthony says, we want to lose 1 million pounds around the world and just have happy moms out there, no mom buds. So yeah, that's the mentality. We just want to accomplish a mission in this life. Be somebody, be a vessel.
What's interesting? We had, I don't know if you guys know Chris Voss. He's like a master negotiator. He's done a lot of
I like him. I see him on Masterclass. I like his stuff.
Right.
You guys interviewed him recently.
Yeah.
So he basically, we learned a lot of stuff from him. And one of the things that I think was my final question that I asked him was that, obviously, in life, we continue to negotiate, whether it's in business, whether it's with your mother when you're growing up, whether it's whatever, you're trying to get out of curfew and stuff, but you're always negotiating something, right? And so I asked him, I said, so what is the conversation that you're having with yourself when you have to negotiate with yourself? We're always talking about the deals that we're making outside of us, but never with the real negotiations that we're having within us. That, for instance, the journey that you had to go through was more mental than anything. It was a physical, endurance that you had to really go through. And it's like a triathlon within yourself, but it was a mentality shift where it went from you no longer negotiating against yourself, but now negotiating for yourself. Can you walk me through that? Because it was a moment. And we know that during the documentary, your daughter says that she doesn't want you to die, and that shifts you. But that's always that's a moment. And so there's still you going to the gym every single day, and now you have to keep that same mentality. So every day you're negotiating again. You're waking up and you're like, I'm tired, I'm sore. Can you walk me through even that journey, even for you, Tereza? Because you were going through your own challenges as well, but something kept you going? What was that mentality like for you guys?
For me, it was very easy. For the first time, I was able to put the fate of my life in my own hands versus in a business, you have employees, you have customers, you have weather, you have materials, you have whether somebody wants to show up to work or not, whether somebody delivers on their part or not. It's not really in your control. But this, you can control what you eat, you can control your mindset, your emotion, your workouts. So for the first time, it was in my control. So I looked at it like, week one, my salary was $1. Week two, my salary was $100. Week three, my salary was $1,000. Week four, it was $1 million. Week five, it was 2 million. What I mean by that is week one was the hardest. You know, I woke up in pain. I was sore. But guess what? Week two, the scale went down. The workouts got easier. The clothes started fitting looser. Week three, people started saying, hey, did you lose weight? You know what I mean? Week four, my face started getting chiseled. You know, week five, I started getting more energy. So like, I looked at it like somebody's paying me. I'm seeing the reward. So it's, imagine me doing a job and I'm like, okay, $20 million a week. Stop right there. That's too much. I got to quit. You know what I mean? So like, I'm not a dumb guy. You know what I mean? And I said, I'm winning here. I'm winning. I'm getting rewarded. I see the actual winning. And, you know, I'm going to take this thing to the finish line because the hardest part is over, you know? And so it's only going to be easier from here. And so that was it, you know, was not that difficult for me to put the battery in my back and keep going. And then I kept visualizing and I kept putting the blinders on. There was a lot of distractions. You know, we just had our son. There was a lot of different things that could have taken me off the beaten path, but I was winning. I was rocking it. You know, I was doing well. I didn't get injured. And once I got the nutrition in check, that was it. It was like, you know, full guns blazing. I'm not the kind of guy to start a real estate project and then just leave it abandoned. You know, I'm going to budget accordingly. I'm going to build out. I'm going to finish. I'm going to sell out all those condos. You know, I'm going to lease the whole thing out, you know, so I'm not one of these abandoned real estate projects. So that was how I looked at it. I don't want to leave my body like I did 9 other times as an abandoned construction job. You know?
He's right. It was one of the most challenging times of our lives where our daughter Love, she was 2.5-ish, and she was booking jobs left and right. So there was auditions, there was shoots. She had about 8 classes a week that I had signed up for. So it was like rushing from this class to that class while having the newborn, you know, in a carrier. And our son came out with some health related things that no doctor was putting their finger on. So I went through this whole holistic journey, top notch, like homeopathic doctors. And guess what? Anthony showed up to every single appointment, like to drive or whatever, because I had to sit in the back and nurse my son on the right, you know, whatever it took, you know, to figure out what was going on with our son. We found out and we took it under control, because if we didn't, you know, things could have gone even wrong. So it was very challenging times, but the commitment that he showed to himself was definitely epic. So even if we got home at 6-7 p.m. and we were wiped out from driving to Newport, Long Island, waiting for 3 hours to see this special homeopath, coming back, you know, and we're all drained mentally too, because we're like, is our son going to be okay? We're worried, like sick to our stomachs. He would still go to the gym. I would be knocked out asleep. He had no fun to come home to, but he would still like stay and do his job, get home at 12 a.m., wiped out, wake up at 6 a.m. earlier than us to hit the gym for his morning fasted cardio. That was commitment. For me, what that switch was, well, first of all, it was COVID. So things got locked down and we were homeschooling our both of our children. And luckily he built a gym. So I had the access. I was like, well, there is no excuse, right? But yes, there was a lot of excuses. The kids, you know, I have to entertain them, all of it. And I have diastasis recti. The doctors told me not to lift anything more than 3 pounds. I have to do this other therapy. I couldn't even lift my leg to do a flutter. And they said no core exercises at all. What flipped in my mind, right? So I've always been a great student, 3.97, golden rope, graduated in America, 3 years into my American life, I'm sending a diploma to my dad to put on his wall, feel proud. I was always a great employee, the hardest working one, would close, would open, like the managers relied on me. So I always had that respect towards managers, towards money. And, let's say I need the money, right? So that makes you responsible. You show up to your work, you do your job, you get paid for it. And what switched in my head, I was like, why can I have that special respect for myself? Let me imagine I'm the manager. Let me imagine I'm the college professor and have that kind of accountability. Why should we have this kind of respect towards all of these other people, employers and managers and professors, and not to ourselves? And that was the switch in my head. The moment I took myself, I was like, look in the mirror. You're what matters. All these managers, they come and go. All these jobs come and go, but you are there for yourself for the rest of your life. Respect yourself. And that was it.
Did you guys have any habits that you guys instilled? Because I know that a lot of this becomes like a routine now, that you have to reshift and create these habits, whether it's affirmations every morning, whether it's knowing that you have to, I know you were doing fasted cardio in the morning and stuff. Like, can you walk us through what did that transitional routine look like for you guys? That you're like, you know what, this is the new habits for us.
Dream boards. We're big on dream boards,
Very big.
manifestation, planning, project planning, down to the minutia. We're just not going to say, this is what we want to do. We'll say, well, what are the steps we're going to take
Very
to do
detail
it?
oriented.
Like literal spreadsheet steps. Like, this is step
Spreadsheets.
1, step 2. This is what we got to order. This is how we have to,
And in order to do this, we have to schedule this, make that into habits.
Yeah. So
I'm
that's
talking about habits, so important. I used to, emotional eat all the time. Put the kids to sleep. I'm wiped out. I didn't have a good night. This and that. You're eating all the leftovers, right? So I developed the routine of like the overeating or emotional eating with different type of habits. Like, you have to replace them. You can't totally keep yourself away from your habits or cut it, because that's unhealthy. You're going to come back to it even worse. So all you need to do is figure out the habit that's making it bad for you and replace it.
Going to the root and being able to
Going to the root. Portion
Yeah.
control was another thing for me, that after all these meal plans, I realized my portion. I have plates, I like containers, that's my portion. So even going after competitions, I know exactly how I'm going to make this into a lifestyle by putting it in that container. And then you're eyeballing too. What fits in that container, it's like post office. If it fits, it ships. So
Yes.
that's what you got to eat. So then, we also got educated about the fats and the carbs and the macros. So what to do to effectively feed yourself. And then if you want to still eat after, overeat, right away, you get into that habit. My habit is to eat a lemon, to just kind of close the door. So I'll just bite into a lemon, drink a water, go write something, or just like distract myself, get out of the kitchen. I get those hunger cravings.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. But it's about 20 minutes when you control yourself, then the cravings go, because the food kind of hits the stomach and it's
Yes.
more than enough.
Yeah, that's a really good tip, by the way, because I go through that all the time, where it's like, I'm still hungry, but you have to kind of wait. You have to figure out ways to trick yourself for a few minutes or a little while, and you get out of it.
Yes, absolutely.
Anthony, it was something you said actually triggered something in me personally that I'm thinking about. You went from a very, very high level of income, right, with your business, and then you sold your business. So, thank God you put yourself in a position where you financially were okay. But at the same time, you're a very goal-driven person. So when you didn't have the paycheck or the money at the end of the month to be your source of like, I had a great month, what do you replace that with? I know eventually you're growing in your business, but like, how do you replace that reward system, right? Like at the end of the month. Now, I know you said, you were mastering something new, but you're so used to hitting financial goals, right? So like, I've asked myself that question before, which is why I'm asking you, like, how do I transition from this to that when I'm ready to transition? You know what I mean?
You have to take 2 steps backwards to take 10 steps forwards. So, I looked at it like, I look at real estate. I have to take money out of the bank and put a down payment. and it's going to take me a couple years to get a return on that investment. But not only will you get the cash flow return, you'll get the equity appreciation return. So you have to have that same mentality. You know, you can't just say, oh, geez, I'm going to take $500,000 from my bank and put it in there. It's going to take me 3 years to at least make my initial seed money back. You can't think that way. You have to say to yourself, what's that $500,000 making? More than what it was doing sitting in the bank. You know, so with this, there was a lot of business opportunities I had to turn down in the millions of dollars because I could not stop training and going with my goals. So not only wasn't able to launch a business while I was losing weight, I couldn't take on any existing business and opportunities that were flying at me. So it took a lot of discipline to kind of turn those things away for the greater good of my personal goals, my family goals, and then obviously my business goals.
Yeah, so I mean, that's amazing. So is it just like, hey, I have a goal, I have a long-term goal. My long-term goal is this, and that's it. I'm going towards that goal, and I'm not going to shift my mentality and pick towards the low-hanging fruit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's the Facebook, Instagram, and that's the compass mentality, right? They were running on a negative. And now look at them after they IPO'd, you know what I mean? Sure. Look at Mark Wahlberg's brand, F41 or whatever it is.
Yeah, F45.
They just went public. I mean, these are companies that are running on a negative for years, but their game plan is completely different. So, and the same thing goes for a real estate project. You're pouring money and you don't get to see the return until you sell or lease everything out. And you're carrying overhead. So it's the same thing here. You have to pencil it out. You have to look at it long-term. You have to know what you're doing and hedge your bets accordingly. But the thing with this, the winning thing was me, my body. That was the biggest thing. That was the biggest asset. If someone would have told me that Anthony, write me a check for $5 million. I can make you look at the way you look right now. I probably would have written him a check for $5 million instead of having to do the thing. So, you know what I mean? So I was looked at it like I was writing myself a check, So that's really the truth. People buy bodies through surgery or whatever, but nothing this incredible. So, I just put in the work.
Goes back to taking charge of life and making life work for you, and never once losing faith in yourself and doubting your plan.
Yeah, and Tereza, to you, did you ever at your point ever look at Anthony and say, what are we doing? We sold the business, you're doing this, what are we gonna do? Like, did you ever
No.
Good.
I like 100% trust him when it comes to business, finances. Like, I know he knows what he's doing. And from my perspective, I just have to make myself the best asset that I can be. And I know, I don't want to brag, but I'm kind of thinking of myself as a mastermind behind it all, because I visualize things. I'm like, you can run the business, you know how to talk the talk, you know how to be the boss, like, all these details. Like, he has this personalized relationship with all the coaches, and he's a great businessman. I watch him on day to day, and I'm like, I'd rather be the mastermind and visualize and just make it happen through you.
He's a good face for the business always, right?
Yeah. Well, when I met him, it was funny. We weren't even engaged yet. And I was like, you're the man that I would love to have a family with, because he's strong, he's solid, And I was like, what a father he could be, and what a husband he could be. And I could show you this. At that time, I did my visualization photo, and I created this Photoshop photo.
Oh, wow.
That's where he's thin, I'm thin, and we have 3 children, which our dog is the 3rd one. So we do have it. He saw it. He's like, oh, so you want me to be thin? Not gonna happen. I'm gonna die fat and happy. And I was like, let's watch, because I visualize hard. And
yeah,
it happens.
Yeah. And then she started putting, she said, well, pick a body you would want. And then
I was like, you're gonna look like this.
That's unbelievable that you did that.
So this was way before. If you look at this, look, this is August 26th. Look at the top date, 2018.
So it's
He
way-
started,
Wow.
his first day of gym was July 21st. So this is literally,
2019, yeah.
yeah, no, 2018.
Oh, 2018,
So
yeah,
this
yeah.
was only a month after he stepped foot on, at the gym, where he's done this before and he's failed miserably.
Yeah.
But this time I was like, we are catching on to this. We're hanging on to this. I'm making this picture. You better look at this every day.
No pressure, Anthony.
No pressure.
No pressure.
And then I made
That was-
this for myself.
At least you did it for yourself too. It wasn't just him.
You did good. So
Of course, I
It's
told
pressure
him,
on both
I
sides.
said, what is it?
I said there's pressure on both sides, so that's good. You did it for
Yeah.
yourself, too.
Because I realized he definitely succeeds with a partner, and I knew that I'm gonna join him one day. I knew it was impossible at that time. That was 2018, where I was dealing with my son's issues. I took a big time step back. I was just parenting. That was my focus, and being the support. He needed juicing. I'll be running around juicing for this one, nursing this one, napping this one. I just survived. I didn't take care of myself at all. In fact, I was going downhill.
Yeah.
I had eczema rash that I didn't even know what it is. I had hives all over my body. Like I was just overused because I was nursing 2 kids, which was by choice, because I read that the older child feels replaced by the younger child. So if you keep nursing, there's a healthier relationship for the siblings, and that's all I wanted. So I basically gave myself all to the family, and I just survived. But in the back of my mind, I had made that photo, and I knew it was going to happen one day. So when you have your goals and your dreams so specific, when the opportunity knocks one time, you're like, yes, you take on it. You don't say, let me see, what am I, you're not confused, and then you let it pass. So I think it's very important. At the most impossible times, it is okay to dream big. It is okay to dream the impossible, because if 2 years ago it was impossible, 2 years later, it's going to be yours to have. So just dream. That's all you got to do.
Right. It's like I
Visualize.
posted something on Instagram the other day. I used to be deathly afraid of taking off my shirt. Even in my own pool in the backyard, I would keep on a shirt.
In
and then-
bed too.
Yeah. And
He
then
slept with his shirts on.
and then I'm in England. We're competing in England, where we took home 10 trophies. And I'm in the tanning booth with a sock, just a sock covering me. And I'm having a full-fledged conversation with like 3 women that are spray tanning everybody, and it's just like, what a world of a difference,
I'm not jealous of that.
And then I walk out and I'm walking topless in the streets of Manchester.
Yeah.
With Tereza. We're just walking,
And I saw you do it in Orlando too. You were like, you were walking around Disney. You're like, I got my shirt off. He's like, I would have never thought this. And I
Yeah.
thought about that for a second. I'm just like, it's crazy the mental transition transformation you've made. So,
And what's interesting? The impact I'm having on the transformation community. They look up to me so much.
awesome, man.
And it's an honor, because a lot of these people, like we just did a competition in Texas. It's called Summer Shredding. It's one of the biggest transformation competitions. You get to play a 2-minute video of your story. And then, everyone plays their video, and it's very, people are crying, people 400 pounds, 500 pounds, losing weight, competing on stage. And there's people backstage. They're like, oh my God, I cannot believe it. I lost 250 pounds watching your documentary every day on the treadmill.
Awesome.
And I'm here competing with you. Like, I just want to tell you the impact that you've had on me. So it was really, and then Tereza got a chance to meet some of the women on the transformation side and hear their stories. And so now, like, they're all looking up to us and what it is that we do. And it's epic.
I think that it's incredible, the type of support system that you guys have with each other. It's like very motivational for each other as well, and really keeping each other accountable and stuff. And it's like, it seems like, because of what we know about you, me and Ralph know about you guys and what you guys have accomplished and continue to accomplish, what is that next step that you guys are looking at? Because it seems like whatever it is, you guys are going to accomplish it because you're rock solid. It's like, you got to get there no matter what, because with all the challenges that you just named, right? It being COVID, having all the situations with the family, being able to be losing physically and mentally everything that you were before, like that's a transformational change with everything, It's like, so you guys already did almost what could be impossible to a lot of people that they wait their whole lives to be able to accomplish. Like, what else do you have on this list? Because I don't know if you have another Photoshop photo that you did yesterday.
Oh,
In the future.
we have our plans for the next 10 years already.
Yeah, they're already mapped out, you know.
But to answer, so mid competition season, we got the opportunity to get signed up to 3 top agents in Manhattan and California. So we are represented as brand ambassadors, as unscripted talent, as a few divisions that we are interested in.
Yeah, we have show concepts that are being shopped around.
NBC, Bravo,
Yeah,
and
so we're taking a lot of phone calls. We're also fitness influencers, so we got signed to a big new fitness influencer agency. We have a podcast show that we just got signed on to doing, like a legit podcast on a streaming platform. So we have a bunch of irons in the fire, and then
also pushing, helping our daughter's career.
Yeah.
We have a short film that we're basically in pre-production as we speak, and as soon as we're finished, we're going to focus on that project real quick.
Yeah.
She's gonna be the lead of her own film, which is an amazing concept to raise awareness about such a deep topic. I don't know, should we spill the beans?
Not yet, but what I wanted to touch on is everybody has their world, right? So take a look at like President Obama. At the end of the day, his world is Michelle and his daughters and whatever places that they frequent, and everybody has their own world. Like I told her when things were happening with COVID and the rioting and this and that, I said, let's map out our world. Is it affecting the park we take the kids to? No. Is it affecting the grocery store we go to? No. So if it's not affecting our world, let's not worry about it too much. And there's nothing much we can do with what's going on right now. So everybody has their own world. So as long as you protect the world that you have and you've created for yourself, you guys have your own world, your significant other, your children, whatever you have, the gas station that you go to get gas. I mean, we're all routine animals, So I think for us, it's important that we continue to grow our world, but we continue to make sure that our world is healthy. All the places that we frequent, all the things that we do with our children, our best friends, our closest people. So that's really what it is. At the end of the day, you could be Elon Musk, you could be Richard Branson. You still have your world,
Control what you control. You're controlling what you can control every single day and making the best out of it. And I think
exactly
that's a great message.
And just so that you guys just got back from going to 5 separate competitions. I know we were talking about it offline right now, but you guys are working on a major project right now. So can you just give us a little bit more?
Yes. So we competed in Orlando. That's where she got her pro card, and I won 2 different titles in Orlando. Then after that, we competed in.
I competed in OCB, which is an old tested federation. And
yes.
That was to just prove our viewers that you don't have to take any supplements. Like I was not even taking BCAAs or anything, just food, working out, rest, hydration, and you can build massive amount of muscle. So that was to prove, and I did excellent. I actually took 2nd place in the novice category and 3rd place in the open. And then we both went to summer shredding.
That's right. And I won.
I placed 3rd.
She placed 3rd in bikini. And against 20-year-olds with no kids.
Mm.
There's like, and honestly, it was like 100 contestants. So for her to place 3rd against 100 people was pretty amazing. And then I did transformation, and then I placed 2nd there, and then I placed 3rd in men's classic physique, which was another crossover that I did.
After that, we traveled to UK, and that was really the epic experience. I won 1st place bikini and the bikini category.
And another pro card, another pro card.
We won as a couple 1st place.
Yeah, we did a couples routine where flipping and push-ups, and it was pretty insane, And then I did male international model.
A little bit, by the way, because what people don't understand about these competitions is that people have been in them for years, and the judges have been in them for years, and they usually give the awards to the people they know already.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes. So we're coming in.
I'll
there.
say it because I know you won't say it, but you guys are winning when you're not supposed to be winning.
Exactly.
That's
wow! Look at that.
That's so cool.
I haven't posted it yet, but we had a funny routine.
Yeah, we were doing
push-ups
on each other's back.
Wow.
We won 1st place.
We won 1st place,
awesome.
and what Ralph said is correct. There's a lot of politics involved. In inner friendship, nepotism, all that kind of stuff. and we're total strangers, and we come in and we start sweeping up awards.
We
And,
brought
and
10 awards
10
back.
awards in Europe.
We literally had a whole luggage filled with wrapping paper and these awards to not break them.
And then,
Guys,
of course, got big
You just walking
trophies.
out looking like rappers out of this place.
Yeah.
Chains
That's
all
true.
over the place with these
Well,
awards.
one day we should do that.
I
That's
know,
so funny.
it's
Good
true.
idea.
And then we competed after that.
We kept NPC for like the later, times, because we were like, we'll have many peaks under our belt. Because, NPC is very
Hardcore.
Oh my gosh, 200 contestants, the biggest competition that we had.
Yeah.
And yet, I placed fifth in my division. He did great. He did
third, fourth, and fifth. Yeah, in classic physique, which was hard. Again, guys that have been training 15, 20 years. And I was able to place there. It was pretty insane, just to even be next to them and not look like I don't belong there. Like I was moved around. The judges were like judging me, putting me in the middle, putting me on the side, putting me in. It was incredible just to go through that experience. And so all of this is being documented because Amazon requested that we do a docuseries since the first documentary is such a big hit. Mm-hmm. They were like, what's hot right now is docuseries. So do a 12-episode docuseries. I guess people like to binge watch stuff now.
They do,
yeah. So they said put together, a part 2 and spread it out among over a year period of time. And so we said, no problem. This is what our plans are anyway. We'll just film everything. So we hired different videographers because of COVID restrictions, people that were part of certain, like we hired one from the UK, we hired one from Brazil. So different guys. And we got a chance to work with all sorts of different talent and tell our story and really capture it. So not only is it going to show us transforming multiple times and improving our physique, but everything that we go through, but it's also going to tell people about the industry in a more open way. It's a more transparent way. So you don't have to really be a genius to understand what it's like to get involved.
Yeah, because you get involved, you don't know anything. Everything just seems so dark, just like health insurance, right? You don't know which insurance policy to pick. How do you, it's just such a world. And when you dig in and dive in, you educate yourself. We're here to just do that for them. It's like, some insurance companies, they have an agent that comes to your home, right? Sits and explains everything. That's basically what we're going to be for the industry.
Yeah, people so it's going to you take the intimidation out of it for people.
Yes,
it's the biggest thing.
And also people will dedicate their times and then they'll go into a show that they've only heard about, that one show. Well, maybe that's not the federation they belong to, depending on their look, depending on their workouts. Maybe they didn't hire the right coach. It's like real estate.
What do you want to do? Sales, mortgages, rentals, commercial, development.
There's a lot of different niches.
Yeah.
This is why we want to expose everything. And where do you want to fit in? Don't waste your time. Go and get to a competition stage. Then be like, you know what? Next time I'm going to do this other federation. Just go straight in correctly. I just want to, save all that time and hassle for everyone else.
Yeah. So we got that that iron in the fire amongst all the other things. So we're going to wrap up. We got one last competition in Vegas.
This is the world.
This one was the main reason why we're doing this is because in the documentary, I had won the competition, a ticket to go to the Worlds to compete against the best transformation people around the world. So this is the best. This is like the World Series or the Super Bowl of competitions for this particular federation. So we're going to do that.
It's also glamorous and very fashionable.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be 6 feet tall and signed by a modeling agency to get up there and have a catwalk and feel confident about yourself. You can just take your body, be accountable, build your body and do it in your life. If you've always wanted that experience, you can just have that experience. You just pay for registration, have a sick body that you've worked on. You're in control and you get up there, feathers and all, you glam up. If you want to, inspire your children, inspire your neighborhood, inspire your friends and family. And it's all, snowball effect, I was inspired by a few other moms, so other moms watching me are being inspired. And if they take on this experience, they're going to inspire other, it's just a snowball effect.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think what you guys are doing is amazing. I really do. I see you guys, I can tell just about your stories, how you're affecting people every single day in a positive way. And I'm sure that's rewarding enough, but at the same time, you're building a business and you're creating a media empire. And I'm happy to be along on the journey just watching. So I really, and before I let you guys go, how can people get in touch with you if people are interested in everything? Is it the RBT website? Is it?
Yeah, we have rbtshow.com where we always announce all of our challenges. Obviously, my Instagram, Anthony Lolli, or Tereza's Instagram, Tereza Hakobyan, but mainly rbtshow.com. We're always keeping it up to date. We're offering $100,000 prizes all the time for people to jump on to the next 90-day challenges. We got one on week 8 right now, or week 12. So it's we're going to announce some winners in a couple weeks, and so you can kind of see what we did with the last challenge and who won. And we had a grandma who won. She doesn't look like a grandma, but she won the prize money and she won first place. And we had a truck driver that had no home, living out of his truck. He won 3rd place working out in the street. 2nd place was a guy who went from really, really skinny to putting on 20 pounds of muscle. So we have all walks of life, people that we've cured their diabetes, and it's crazy. It's insane.
What does the 90-day challenge consist of? Like, what is the challenge for them?
So what happens is that they either need to put on weight or lose weight. It depends on whether they're coming in. So they talk about what their goals are, and we assign them a coach, a radical body transformation coach, and that coach will coach them to victory.
Got it.
Simple as that. Whatever their goals are, they're going to announce their goals and they got to reach their goals, and they're competing against, other people, and let the best man and woman win.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I mean, and I can tell anybody that's listening and that's going to go to the website that I know you guys don't do anything half-ass. So this is a real program that they could really get fit on, and you guys are both proof in the pudding. It wasn't enough that you did it. Now, Tereza, you did it as well. So you guys are proof that it can happen. And just thank you guys for being here, and thank you guys for continuing to share all this stuff with us, because I think it's powerful.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for having us.
100%. I think that you guys are both extremely inspirational. Right now on social media, we have a lot of fitness models and influencers, a lot of girls taking their butt pics and doing all this, right, to get the glamour, right? But there's not a lot of them that actually provide substance, to really be able to help somebody transform their life completely. And what you guys are doing, you actually putting that in the forefront, as opposed to your ego to look good. It's more about being able to help other people go through that journey. So on behalf of everybody that watches you guys and sees everything that you guys doing, thank you for serving as that person, especially you guys are very spiritual and you want that mission. I thank you guys for being able to be those people that actually want to serve as the people that can guide others to that beautiful lifestyle that they know they can have, but they need inspiration like you guys. So thank you guys so much, for real.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Well, we're going to talk to you guys soon. I want to have another conversation once the documentary is out, and I know everything's ever changing. So we'll definitely have you guys back, and we're looking forward to the podcast, and talk to you guys soon.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate
Talk to you
it.
soon.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode with Anthony Lolli and his wife, Tereza Hakobyan, and enjoyed as much as we did, especially being inspired by what they're doing all across America today. Next week, we have the founder of the micro empire, Jennifer Grimson herself, and she teaches us that sometimes in success is not one big decision that completely changes your life, but many micro successes that can lead to that financial freedom. So make sure that you tune in next week. It's going to be real good. See you guys there.